Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. In today's culture, that's labeled toxic masculinity. But Scripture reveals the truth. Strength that is rooted in love is biblical masculinity. Make your choice.
Welcome back to the Choice Podcast, episode 54. Josh, we still got the numbers figured out. I'm really happy about that.
It took more than 50 episodes for us to track the numbers right, which is odd because they just go up in intervals of ones, and the two of us together couldn't keep it straight, but we got it now. We're at 54.
Yeah, I think this is like when we started in the beginning, like single digits we'll keep track of, but eventually we're gonna.
Once we get into the high teens, y'all can be like, what
episode
episode
are we
roll
on over
again?
60 and all that.
We start getting really messy.
And then we throw in a Forge here or there. It's a mess. Because then we're going back to the future. What a mess. Well, here's the thing about it.
Speaking of Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's actually applicable.
We actually have a guest right now on the podcast coming to us from the future.
Good point.
Would you like to explain that, Eric?
I mean, I'll try. Thank you, Matty B. I mean, I can try. Here's the thing. There's this whole goofy thing where we know that on Creation Day number 3, the sun and the moon were hung in the sky to mark the day and night, which is time.
That's right.
But we've now moved forward, depending on your view of old Earth or new Earth,
which we make
thousands to bazillions of years, okay? And we still don't have this thing called time figured out across the planet. And so we have all these fancy squiggly lines called time zones.
Yes.
And I don't really know what they generally coincide with other than to say, like, I can't ever figure out where, what time it is where. But, now I got this stupid phone.
And it can tell you.
It does help.
And I'll tell you, the guest we have on the call right now is coming from a different time zone. And he's so far away, he's actually 8 hours in the future. So he's 8 hours ahead of us. So he's not the next time zone over.
That actually makes sense, because you remember in the year 2000 when they're like, the world's going to end, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, your computer's going to break, all that, yep.
Guess what? America's sitting here like ready to watch like the world end, and they're like, bro, it's been tomorrow in Japan for 10 and a half hours.
And nothing happened.
Yeah. How you doing over there, Tokyo?
Just fine.
Turns out they're not dead or blown up.
No, they're not.
Oh, it's funny. But and so Back to the Future, though, we got a guest coming in here tonight. Good friend of Josh's. So here's the thing about it. We were trying to decide. We've done 3 episodes now with video. Actually, I forgot we were on video. So I hope I didn't do anything goofy till just now.
You did.
I probably did. And so we're now doing live video, right? And we're back on season 2. This is the 4th episode. A la episode 54. And we realized this week that we forgot, or we just didn't get to, or we never came up to finish our boy Noah.
Yeah, we've got to wrap up Noah. And I was having a conversation this morning with our guest who is currently on with us, and we were talking about this. It just happened to come up in conversation, and then we dialed you into that call, and we decided, hey, let's just bring him on tonight. We'll wrap it up with Mr. Gary Thomas.
There it is. And so with that, we would like to introduce you to our good friend, Mr. Gary the Squatch Thomas. That's
coming in all the way from Kuwait at the moment. So he's literally on the other side of the world. But he's from South Louisiana, same town I'm from, basically.
Mr. Gary, how are we doing?
We doing great, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Thanks for being on here. Let me give you a little bit of an intro. Tell the folks who you are. So Gary and I, Gary's one of my closest friends. We've been friends for over 20 years. He lives in a neighboring town to mine. I mean, it's kind of like up here where
I thought you guys called them like parishes or something goofy.
Counties are parishes down there.
Yeah.
There's no counties.
Do you have
parishes.
real towns?
We do have some real towns, some that aren't real.
When you identify where you're from, do you go by parish or town?
Mostly town.
West Virginia goes by counties. Like, I'm from Clay County. I'm from...
Oh, right.
Yeah, name your county.
Yeah, we don't do
Wyoming.
that. We don't do that, but there is a distinction between... if you're from New Orleans, if you're from Lafayette, where we're from
So-
from the heart of Cajun country.
We already know that you guys look down on people that are north of I-10. Do you
We
also
don't look down on them. We just know that they're all Yankee.
What do you do the same thing for people that are below the Lank-Pontchartrain line?
Sure.
The New Orleans people are different.
Oh, they're not. Gary, you answer that. Are New Orleans people different than us?
Right. Oh yeah, that's a different part of Louisiana, and I-10 dips down below Pontchartrain, so everything north of I-10 is still Yankee.
Still Yankee.
Now that's interesting.
Including our relatives over in what we call the Florida parishes.
Whoa, what's that?
would
That's
be-
new. What's that? Florida parishes.
Yeah, so
I'm looking up.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Florida
I
parishes.
wasn't aware of the map of Louisiana. I was thinking the I-10 was like way up north. So no, that's I-20.
Oh yeah.
You all are really
I-20.
specific about your Yankees, man. You are really.
We draw the line.
You're basically separatists down there.
Yeah.
God,
we didn't
most
do
of
it.
your
The federal
state is
government
above
drew it.
I-10. They're not all Yankees.
There's one. That part of L.A. Like
Now we're
Monroe,
LA.
L.A. That's lower
Just cheaper.
Arkansas.
Oh, good gracious.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And Lafayette, give me a break. Half of your city's above I-10. Well, they're probably Yankees.
They would be the Yankee
That's
folks.
the north side.
Not our friends.
Oh, man. And then you decide, okay, we got Bro. So most of you call it Bow Bridge. You got a Bro Bridge.
That's right. Good job.
Well, it's not hard to, whatever.
That's where the Crawfish Festival is every May.
And Bro, how do you say that in Cajun?
Bro Bridge.
Oh, just that way. That
Just like
seems
that.
logical.
You're Cajun.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Gary has spent 30 years in the oil and gas industry, and he's worked at pretty much every level. He's worked as a basically the equivalent of a chemical engineer in the oil and gas production side. It's called a mud engineer, but they're producing very expensive, very complex, different weight muds using chemicals. He's worked his way all the way up to a company man or a rig supervisor where he's in charge of the entire rigs, and up to field superintendent where he's got 5 or more rigs that report to him, where he's responsible for all of them. He's worked internationally. He's owned several businesses. One of them was international. He currently, him and his wife, own a Christian school in Lafayette that they started years ago. Several other endeavors that he's done throughout his life. Everything from woodworking and electrical plumbing to computer technology, cybersecurity, network engineering. He's a math and chemistry genius.
I'm slightly nervous.
And
about this.
the crazy thing is, a lot of people look at South Louisiana as we're kind of just dumb Cajuns, but there is a
Big
lot
mistake.
of very intelligent people in that oil and gas industry that keep this world moving and keep the lights turned on. So Gary is coming to us from Kuwait.
Well, that's appropriate because when we talk about Noah, you can talk about
Oil and
he
gas
was
and Noah? Maybe.
he was only 10 generations from Adam. Adam was in Eden. Some people say that Eden, modern day Mesopotamia, wasn't too far from old Gary's current position. But before
closer than we are currently.
I would say far closer. Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Well, before we get into all that, do we want to? So we have some important things in
We
this
do.
podcast.
Let's go ahead and take care of them now.
Yeah, we got business, Gary. You're a listener, it sounds like. Is that true?
Oh yeah, I think I'm current up to episode 50.
Nice. That's good.
Have you heard 50 or you're about to hear 50?
I'm about to hear 50.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just a recap of 1 through 49.
It's a recap of all the ridiculous,
Lowlights.
funny moments, lowlights.
And so you know what questions, and there are questions, but we don't necessarily even know right now. We didn't show prep this, like what questions we're going to give him. There's buy-in questions, and how you answer them definitely dictates how the rest of the evening will go.
Well, you're going to want to hear the steak answer from him because that man can cook. He can cook.
Well, let's start there. Gary, how do you cook a steak?
It depends.
Okay.
My preference is charcoal
Ooh,
on the grill
I think that's pretty good.
outside.
You don't. That's good. We try to avoid charcoal inside. So, ding. Can we get a ding or something?
No.
All
Yeah,
right.
there we go.
There's a good start.
We got to start going. And what's the temperature you like it cooked at?
I don't go by temperature. I go by feel.
That's my
So I
boy.
go medium rare.
Huh. What do you think about this whole? You ever heard of this whole finger thing? Where you touch different?
Yeah, there's one that I use. It's not. It's I think the one you're talking about is the thumb.
The thumb.
It's-
thumb fat.
Yeah, touching the
thumb
bottom,
meat.
the base of your thumb.
fat.
Yep.
So the method I use is forehead, nose, and chin. So forehead would be
What?
well done.
That's a crazy thing.
The tip of the nose would be medium, and then the chin would be medium rare.
That's a crazy thing. My chin is actually. We're
My
looking like
chin's a little
idiots. Oh,
bony.
we're on video. I forgot.
Oh, love it. You should. Well, that'll be great on the
My
video.
forehead's just as hard as my chin is. Are you guys? My nose is way softer. My nose is probably like rare. I don't know if I buy that. I'd have to see. Josh,
maybe your tongue would be rare.
He's
your
sticking his
tongue
finger
there.
in his mouth.
Maybe.
Like, we're idiots.
I like it. I like it. So,
All right, fair
so
enough.
we're saying
well, we learned something tonight.
medium rare to medium.
I wouldn't say it was helpful, but we learned something.
Charcoal outside on a grill.
Yep. Okay, that's a pretty good answer.
I've eaten several steaks on his front porch.
Oh man, there's not a lot of things that beat a charcoal steak. But what he's not saying, Joshua, is what?
Steak boiled in a bag.
Nope, not saying that. Not great
Yep.
steak. That fancy, goofy. Actually, it's French. It's your word.
It's not ours. That's the other French.
Oh, that's the north of Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah. That's like from way back. That's Parisian French. Sous vide.
Yep.
Yep.
See, we weren't allowed to say that. Hey, Maddie, would you please beep that out? Thank you.
We think that might be a swear word of some kind.
There it is. All right. What second question we got for him?
We can go with the standard. I know the answer just because I know him well. But
We never did get his stats, so that might have informed the next question.
go ahead.
Gary, you big guy, I heard. Is that true?
Tall man.
We know you're bearded. We did see that on the video.
You can't see how tall he is on the video though.
Yeah, I'm a big guy.
Let's just say this. In the photos I've seen of him on the rig out in Kuwait, now you know that most of the guys that work with him are like some Kuwaitis, some Filipinos.
It's a mix.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Very few Westerners, right, Gary?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
very few.
you see pictures of him. He towers over those little people.
Man, I don't think I've met many oil rig fellas who weren't just like a man's man.
How they?
Like, you don't just go out there and sling. What's that lead pipe? What's that made out of?
Steel.
Yeah, you don't just sling steel pipe and be a complete wuss.
American steel.
Ain't no way.
If it's
There's no
if
way.
it's a U.S. rig, it's American.
I don't
steel.
know if there's a manly. We've never ranked, Matty B, the manliest jobs in America. I mean, let's just take a sec. Okay, so we're gonna ask you if you wear skinny jeans, and I'm sure your answer is what?
No.
Yeah. I think you've ever.
because Carhartt doesn't make skinny
no.
jeans.
That's hilarious. Well, listen, good. We got that out of the way. 'Cause I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes talking about band jobs since we did have to worry about this skinny jean thing. What do you think, Josh? What do we think, Matt? What do we think the manliest? I mean, it's got to be close. Top 5 in America. I mean, steel, like oil rig worker. That's got to be
It's
top
up
5.
there. It's up there. It's up there.
What else would be on that list? Farmer.
Farmer would be one, sure.
Manliest jobs in America. Jump on a tractor and farm. That's pretty manly.
Yeah.
Milk a cow. I mean, that's a farmer job. Yeah, manly stuff. Maybe. But farming is for sure manly. All right. What
Yeah.
else? What do you think?
Mechanic. You got to throw a mechanic in there.
Yeah.
Mechanic, welder, any of the trades like that.
All those
It'd be
trades.
A tradesman
Yeah.
job?
Tradesman jobs.
Yeah,
I can't think of a trade job that's not manly.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, to be able to fix stuff and build stuff with your hands.
That's valid.
So
Yeah.
God made us.
Carpenter. That's a great point.
Carpenter, home builder. Yep.
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
It is the forge. That's a good. Is there even blacksmiths around this? I mean, other than like for, novelty purposes? Do we have blacksmiths in a forge with a hammer?
Well, I would imagine somebody's blacksmithing stuff, right, Gary?
I would think the modern day version of blacksmithing would be machinist.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's pretty good. I think that's manly, and I don't know if that's a trade. It's
When I-
definitely
it's a trade, I think.
meaning
Yeah,
I'm not
it's-
sure I'd categorize it with welder in them. Like it's a different
Yeah.
machining.
When I think of blacksmithing, I think of horseshoes. And I have a cousin who's help me out on this one, Gary, a furrier?
Farrier.
Farrier.
Very.
Yeah. Their backs go out early. They're always hunched over. I wouldn't want to do that job.
How many times do you think a farrier has been, on the average per month, gets kicked by a horse?
Probably a whole lot more times than I've even said that word in my life.
Gary, you ever been kicked by a horse?
No, I've not been kicked by a horse.
Yeah, I haven't
I've
either.
not been around much horses lately.
Did
Or at all.
you
period.
know Josh was a bulldogger? Did you even know what bulldogging is?
Yeah, I know what bulldogging is.
I tried it one
Yeah.
time. Didn't go well.
Calf wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what the Northerners call it.
Steer wrestling.
Oh, steer wrestling. What about a fisherman?
Fishing was manly.
I think it's manly. You're grabbing nets. You're on a boat.
Fishing and hunting is manly. Driving trucks is manly.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Gary, do you drive a truck?
Yeah, I drive a truck.
He just rebuilt a truck. And I mean, literally.
I think, all right, fair enough. And the last, I think, so we probably ought to get into the show here in a second.
Might as well. What about Noah?
Oh, yeah, what about Noah? So we won't ask him the dog bones, and we won't ask him our secret question. So we're just going to skip those for today. Because last time we asked a secret question, it kind of derailed a little
went
bit.
awry.
Went awry.
One might say.
Yeah, so we're into Noah tonight, and I have no idea how we're going to make this transition other than a cold one. So here we are.
Well, let's just start up and we can talk about Noah. The big thing he's known for is the ark. That's just it. If you don't know anything about the Bible, you haven't spent much time in church or in Sunday school as a kid, you probably still have heard of Noah and the ark and the flood. And where we left off was kind of the end of chapter 7. So Noah's built the ark. Everybody thought he was crazy, likely. The floods came. The waters rose. I imagine people quit thinking he was crazy about that time. And he and his sons, their wives, his wife, and the animals were on the boat. Noah was shut in to the ark by God. That's important. And I believe that's at the end of chapter 7. And so 8 picks up where the rain is basically stopped, and that's where it picks up. Is that about right, Eric?
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Do you know how many days, I was looking, like doing the math here. Do you know how many days he was in the ark with the family? It's like 370.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's a long time.
What's your thought on that, Gary?
Yeah, it's a long time to be on a boat with a bunch of animals.
Listen, never mind.
And just a
And your kids and your in-laws.
right.
And you're in.
A handful of kids and some in-laws. Quarters are tight. Got to be smelling ripe in there.
Ugh. Nasty. Wet. Everything's wet. It's been raining. And also said help me with this one. He sealed the ark, because he says he unsealed it. Is he just talking about the door? Or like he uncovered it or unsealed it? I think it said. Like, what does he seal it or cover it with? You know what I mean? Because otherwise, like, that rain would have gotten all through that thing and sunk that sucker. But it obviously didn't sink.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, basically, if you pick up in 8:2, chapter 8, verse 2, the fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters receded and on the earth continually. at the end of 150 days. So we don't usually think about that in Sunday school when we're singing our cute songs about Noah, that it's done raining and we're just going to go ahead and pause for 150 more days.
Yeesh.
You know you're already ready to get off the boat. The waters had abated, and on the 7th month of the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Now, some believe that was up in Turkey, modern day Turkey. And there's some interesting thoughts about that. And as we were discussing this morning, Gary, there's been some visual, imagery that show what appear to be an outline of what would have been the ark potentially. And there was some artifacts found, right?
Yeah. So forget when it was mentioned, when it was actually discovered, but yeah, they're in eastern Turkey. It's actually a tourist spot. The Turkish government has actually put signs up that it's Noah's Ark, and there's an outline of what appears to be a boat in the rock formations.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was reading as well. There's several different pieces of pottery around that have some resemblances or something of the ark.
I read that same thing. Ceramics from around 5,500 to 3,000 BC, which lines up with your traditional timeline.
But what I thought was interesting, so yeah, the water's subsiding. The ark comes to rest in or around the mountains of Mount Ararat, and so Noah sends out a raven first, and the raven flies to and fro.
You have a raven sound effect?
Can't find anything.
No architects.
That's a chicken. That's definitely. I think it's more like caw, caw. No?
I could do something, but I won't.
Come on, man.
That's a raven. Come on, boys.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the raven.
That was the raven. You got the Gary vote on that one. So, yeah, he sends out this raven. The raven just flies back and forth and can't figure anything out. So he comes back. So there's bird number one. Then he sends a dove out, and the dove can't find a place.
What do we do? What does he do? What's the symbolism there, Gary? Josh? Raven, dove, what is it? Peace, olive branch. What are we doing here?
I think there could be something drawn from that, but I don't have my finger on the pulse of it. But clean and unclean animal, maybe. But
yeah, clean and unclean, and raven was a scavenger, or still is a scavenger.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's interesting.
Where itself is not.
And then the olive, it brings back an olive leaf or a branch, and it's like that's the peace offering. It has to be like that's where this all started.
Yeah, and then I would think that's
like a lot of colloquialisms are like, oh well, no, it's just a saying. Like no, it's actually scriptural. People. They don't realize, like, most of these things in life, you just don't know or realize, but it comes from Scripture.
So it brings back an olive branch. Who was that peace offering? Who offered the olive branch?
Well, it'd been God, because later on he gives what they call
go.
a bow. And listen, we're going to, Genesis 8 and 9, another theme of this one, Matty B, is take back the rainbow. Everybody says that, right? They're like, oh, the rainbow. I'm like, look, let me just restore it to its original meaning, buddy.
Exactly.
It's biblical.
And we can riff on that. Go ahead.
In symbolism, when was the next time we saw a dove descending from the sky?
Baptism. Jesus' baptism. Well, that's interesting because a lot of people, the parallel drawn there is the world was baptized, similar to the symbolic Jesus's, like your and mine and Jesus's baptism, right? Like John the Baptist was baptizing people in the River Jordan. And it indicates a renewed, restored beginning. Same for the earth, because he cleansed everybody except Noah, his family, and those animals. And it's the same like whenever you and I are baptized, it marks the new beginning of your eternal life, right?
Yeah.
The old self, the old nasty flesh, the old world, the old earth, Genesis 1 through 6, 5, is buried and dead. Right? Are we on the same page here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the bird the bird went out the first time, couldn't find a place to put its feet. He brought it back in, waited 7 more days, sent the bird out, the dove out again, comes back with an olive branch, knows that there's a good vegetation out there. The last time he sends him out, the dove doesn't come back. So it's obviously found its own way now. Things are safe. So Noah then knows that the waters have subsided from the earth. And then he waits another 7 days. I find it interesting that, let's see, where does it say? So somewhere around 13, he removes the covering of the ark. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, what's the covering of the ark? I don't know. We don't have to look into that.
So didn't when he built the ark, he covered it with pitch as a sealant, so that when he closed the door up, Noah sealed the door from the inside with pitch, even though God shut the door.
That's probably exactly right. Josh, you had something about that door, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, that we talked about it earlier that there was one door and one window, right, Gary?
Yeah.
So there's one way to salvation from that devastation, and it's God that shut him in, that secured that salvation. But what I found interesting is verse 16 of chapter 8, or 15. Then God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark." Now think about it. You've been sitting in this ark all through this storm. Then you've been riding in this thing for months after. Now we're at a year or a year plus, a couple of days. But Noah is obedient. He doesn't even, he wants out. You can imagine. He just wants to get out and put his feet on solid ground for the first time in a year. And he waits for God to give the command, go out, take you and your wife and your sons' wives with you. He waits until he's told to leave. That's interesting. Very obedient. Bring with you every living thing.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you why he didn't go out. Okay. Because I was out duck hunting the other day. And there's this thing. Hey, Gary, do you guys have this thing called bootjack mud?
I can guess what that is.
Blackjack mud or golf.
Hey, let me tell you right now. And if you read in here, he's like, look, the waters receded, but the land had not been dried out enough to step on yet. And I can tell you why he didn't go out of the ark. Because I'm telling you, we went out it actually was right next to a beaver dam. And what do beavers do at the mouth of the dam, whatever you want to call it, like the apex of the dam, at the dam part? They pack that sucker with mud and they push mud up against it, right? And the whole thing turns into this big mud flat. It was so thick and so nasty, the dog almost got stuck. That's how, it was a thing. And by the time, look, and we were setting decoys and I'd stepped in there one time and I was like, uh-oh. I actually had someone help me out of it. You can't get out of this stuff. So ain't no reason. I get it. Noah's like, no, that's crazy. Oh, I got these stupid sandals. I'll never see that again.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all I got is this one pair. I've been wearing it for a year. These are my favorite sandals. I ain't going out in that junk. So I understand that nasty, muddy, mucky mess. But yeah, so anyways, it does say that. I mean, so it stands the reason why he's like, I ain't going out there yet. It's a little, it was covered in water for a year.
Yeah, it's soggy.
Yeah, it's soggy. Give me a break.
Of course, I've been in that part of the world, and that's kind of where Gary is right now. Gary, you can attest to this. I want you to just hear my thoughts on it. The first time I saw it rain in Iraq, now this ground is so dry.
It's moon dusty dry.
It's got cracks and crevices in the ground. And the rain,
it's like chalk.
The rain came down, and it was like a good half a day of rain. Like it was puddling up. And I'm like, even the ground over here is stupid. It's so thirsty. It's got cracks. And it won't suck up the water. How do you have a crack in the earth and it just puddles and doesn't go in the hole? That's how dumb the ground is. Am I wrong, Gary? You see that over there?
Oh, you're not wrong, man. Our last rain was about a week ago, and we still have puddles in the desert. It's the strangest thing.
It's the strangest thing.
It's like, how do you have a puddle in the desert? You think water would go through sand, but
Great point.
you're right, Josh. It is.
The earth is dumb over there. That's my theory. But you know what? Here's something. Noah and his sons and their wives were told to leave the ark, go out into the world, be fruitful and multiply. The second time we've heard that, right?
Great point. And it's like the new, and that rainbow, which they called a bow, not a rainbow, just a bow, was the marking of the new covenant. And there was only several covenants in throughout history or scripture.
Well,
I think this was number 2. Abraham's was 3, right?
I would even back up before that, though. Think about just a thought. It doesn't mean anything about
What's
anything.
a covenant, Josh? Well, maybe you say you were going. Sorry,
So
get to your point. Yeah,
my thought is, think about this. Noah and his family was spared, not just because of Noah's obedience. That absolutely was the reason they were spared, but also to rebuild. Think about that. They get off the boat and it's like, whew, thank goodness I'm off the boat, right? But the reality is they didn't have anything. There wasn't one wheel. There wasn't one shelter other than that boat. They didn't want to get back on the boat, I'm sure. They got to build everything. It's day one again. Which leads me to my next point that I'm going to save for a minute. What are your thoughts on that, Gary? Am I wrong?
Well, no, you're not wrong, but just think about, life before the flood versus life after the flood. Imagine, if you will, the amount of knowledge transfer that can happen down the generations if you've got, and I'm not going to do the Josh thing where you're counting back the great, great, greats.
With your fingers.
Yes. Yeah. So think about this. I mean, us that are alive, we're trying to transfer, all the knowledge that we have to the next generation. But we only get really 2, maybe 3 generations that we're able to connect to.
Good point.
But I mean, you look at Noah, according to scripture, it looks like he knew Adam.
Right.
So all the things that Adam knew, Adam was able to pass down to every generation from Adam all the way to Noah. And so going into the ark, Noah and his sons had vast amount of knowledge.
Firsthand.
Firsthand knowledge. But it's not just knowledge about God, it's just knowledge about things. So we know a lot of things. We know about a lot of things. Like, I know how to weld. I'm not a welder. That's what I do is not called welding, but I know the process. But if you strip everything away, can I build a machine that can weld? So imagine Noah and his sons coming off the ark and not being able to reproduce the technology that they had. So
yeah, that's good. And then you think about, there had to be some, I'll call it industry, or some skill that was lost. I mean, like, hopefully one of those wives knows something about making clothes, right? I mean,
they had the 10 generations of knowledge to pull from, right? Because they lived together.
Yeah.
They had, and then you better go back to Adam, your great times 9 grandfather, and it's like, hey, Pops, where'd you come from? He's like, I just existed one day. I was walking in the garden with God.
And then, boom,
in this stupid tree, your grandmother over here
kept hanging out around that tree.
Yeah. Next thing I know, poof, gone, kicked out of the garden.
Yeah. Thanks, dear.
Yeah. God's mad, and we've just cursed an entire,
all of
humanity for the rest of history. That's on me. Oh, that's on you, Pops? Yeah, that's on me.
It is on me.
Sorry about that.
My bad. Whoops.
Yeah.
I'll get you back later.
Nothing.
Yeah, thanks for nothing.
And it gets to be so bad that, you get down to his 10th generation, and Noah's like, it's so bad. He's like, you know what? We can't do this anymore.
Well, we're about to go over that again in just a
Say
second.
no more. Go
but
for
let's
it.
go for it. So they get off the boat. They start doing their thing. And I'm not putting these glasses back on, so I'm going from memory. So I start getting askew here. I trust you too, or Maddie B will jump in and tell me I've lost myself. So
He's fixing for a sound effect.
They're off the boat, and now he's farming the land, and he grows a vineyard. And now we have the next big whatever moment in the chapter 8 and 9, maybe, wherever that falls. Can't see it. So
9.
Thank you. So Noah grows a vineyard, drinks his own wine, gets a little drunk, ends up going to sleep naked, and he's got 3 sons. Silly names, right?
Shem, Ham, and
Japheth. Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Japheth.
Yeah, something like that. He better watch out or we'll give him a nickname. So one of them, I think it's Ham,
True story.
walks in and sees him naked, and
Goes out.
the other 2, they walk in the tent backwards.
Well, they go out and Ham goes out and tells her brothers, "Hey, old Pop's in here.
Yeah,
He's being a little tipsy.
Pop's done lost himself. He's in there snoring, ain't got no clothes on.
Old man went to bed without any breeches."
And so they walk in with some kind of a covering blanket or something.
Yeah.
Walk in backwards. They don't look at him. They cover him up.
Similar to the garden, ashamed of the nakedness,
And
cover him up.
They cover him. And then there's pretty much into the story of that. Now Noah wakes
What's the
up.
point of that story?
It's a good story.
You got some
I got
tie-ins
points
there?
here. Yeah, I do. So basically, Noah wakes up. He knows what happened. So he wasn't that drunk, I guess. He remembered what happened. And he basically says, Ham, you will basically be the servant of the other 2. Am I getting this mostly right, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there we have it. So that was another one of those kind of moments, kind of like the when I first read it, kind of like when I read Mary and Joseph left Jesus at the temple, and that then they had to go back and get him, and why were you looking? If you know me, I was at my Father's house, and I'm sitting here thinking, why is that in there? Why did they put this naked part in? That's what I was asking myself.
I feel like you have an answer.
I do.
Well, the one thing I was thinking that was interesting was Ham. Guess where? I'm looking at a map. So if you can see this, look, we have video. Look, I'm holding it up, Maddie B. So, you're going to zoom in? Did it work? I'm holding up a map of Noah's descendants post-flood and where they went. All right. Did you get the gist of it, Maddie B?
Pretty close.
I'm about to put this down.
Pretty close.
All right,
you're
because
good.
I can't see our screen.
You're
Anyways, guess if you were to have to guess. Now, fast forward a couple books of the Bible, right, the whole way up through Joshua. Where would you say that Ham, if he's to be the servant to the rest, and he's to be cursed be? Well, I'm not going to give you the answer.
Canaan.
Yeah, where would you say
Canaanites.
Ham's descendants settled?
What say you, Gary? Canaanites is what we're thinking? The land of Canaan?
Yeah, the land of Canaan. Yeah. So this region, the Middle East region, somewhere here, maybe further south.
He's in green. Yeah, he's definitely Canaan, and then his descendants are all up and down the coast of the Promised Land. And guess what happens when Joshua crosses? He just starts laying waste. Isn't that something?
That's something. Well, check this out. So
Hivites, Girgashites, Jebusites, Amorites, Zemarites, Arvadites, that's more Syria, Sinites, Archites, those are some of the same people that were in the Promised Land and got ousted by Joshua.
So check this out. Adam is put on the earth, first human being. Sin enters because Eve is deceived by the serpent. Adam doesn't do his job as the husband to protect his wife. They eat of the apple. They've disobeyed God. God comes down, covers their sin, and now there's consequence.
Animal. That matters.
Yep. Animal sacrifice, cover the sin, consequence for the sin. The sin was so great in the land, he brought the floods. Could it be that Noah is the second failed Adam?
Oh, I think it definitely is.
And Noah, with his little winery, vineyard, he he gets loaded, ends up walking around with no britches. And what do we see now? It's not just that God covers our sin, but maybe there's a picture of how we should treat each other. Not the way Ham did, but we should treat each other like that. Cover each other's sin, be respectful to each other. A little different way of treating each other. The second Adam's failed. This is now Noah. He's failed. God comes down. And now we start to talk about, we bring in, this was probably like, I don't know, this is somewhere, I'm guessing, I can't see a thing, early part of 9. We're talking about shed blood, capital punishment. You follow what I'm saying?
No, I'm still focused on the first part of chapter 9 where he says, and I quote,
glasses back on.
"And God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." That's a repeat, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a regeneration. Covenant.
time.
This is why covenant number 2 matters.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's not the exciting part.
So,
Well,
here's
let's
the
be
point,
honest,
Eric.
though. The be fruitful and multiply is exciting part. Let's not undermine
Go ahead.
that.
What are you going to say, Gary? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So as an aviator, what is the shape of a rainbow from the sky?
That's a good question. You ever seen one from the sky, Eric?
I don't think I have. Is there an answer to this?
Yeah.
I mean, upside down.
It's
I
a
mean,
circle.
it's a circle.
It's a circle.
He's right. Yep, he's right. It's a circle.
So think about this promise. So think about this promise from man's perspective. The rainbow, it's an arc, ARC, and it has a beginning and an end. But from God's perspective, it's a circle that doesn't have a beginning and doesn't have an ending.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And so back to Noah and his nakedness. So Josh and Eric,
Yes, sir.
do you guys think he was just in his room naked, in his tent naked, and that's the problem? Or
yeah.
flip over to Leviticus 18, verse 7.
That's my boy here. Here we go. Listen, that's the most boring book of the Bible. If you're listening, don't ever read Leviticus.
The
I'm
law.
just kidding. It's
Especially
just the
not-
law. I'm just
Leviticus
kidding.
what? I'm sorry.
18, verse 7.
Okay.
Matty B just had a moment.
Okay.
Oh,
Here we are.
Gary came
You
back.
shall not uncover the nakedness of your father, which is the nakedness of your mother. She is your mother. She shall not uncover her nakedness. Your father's wife, your father's nakedness.
You should not uncover. What does that even mean? I don't even know.
This is one of those crazy passages that make my head spin for a second. Okay, so I'm going to read it. 18:7.
There's a lot of you shall not uncover the
You
nakedness
shall
of
not
things.
uncover the nakedness of your father, which is the nakedness of your mother. So that's your father's nakedness, your mother. She is your mother. You shall not uncover her nakedness, which again is your father's nakedness. So maybe that's his prize.
I don't get it. I need someone to explain this to me.
Am I following that right, Gary? So when they say don't uncover your father's nakedness, they're actually meaning your mother, his wife,
Yeah. So
his prize.
so the nakedness of So according to Leviticus, there in the context there is that
That's good.
the nakedness of your father, it's a possessive thing,
Yes.
in that he owns the nakedness, the physical part, the nakedness of your mother.
Of his wife. Yeah.
That's his wife.
You
so
dirty
so the
ham.
nakedness of your father. So I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying we have, similar verbiage in this
Interesting.
instance. There's a couple of other theories about what nakedness of Noah was, but it definitely wasn't just Noah sleeping naked in the tent.
I think
Man, you guys are blowing my mind right now.
that's interesting. Well, man, that's good, Gary. I like that a lot. That's going to give me some things to think about. What I like.
Can we talk about the apex predator versus yet, please? Or we still talking about this whole ethereal academic
naked
learning things?
Well,
can we get back to hunting?
You want to go back to early chapter 9?
Yeah.
So he says, "Be fruitful and multiply on the earth. The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, because you are a mighty apex predator hunter, Eric. Upon every bird of the heavens," that includes ducks, "upon everything that creeps on the ground,
And the swamps.
in the swamps of Louisiana, and the fish in the sea. Into your hand they shall be delivered." Into your hand.
This is the best one. Go ahead.
"Everything moving that lives shall be food for you."
That's exactly right.
Everything moving.
Yep.
It didn't say broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll just have you know, when God told Noah to put those animals on the ark, he didn't say, grab a Brussels sprout and a sprig of asparagus. He said, no, get the deer.
Isn't there a verse in somewhere? Yeah, exactly, Gary. Like where I can't remember where it was. It said like vegetables are for the weak. Oh, there is. I'm gonna look this up.
All I know is, if that's the food you're into, my food eats your food.
Yeah,
That's all
get
I'm
the
saying.
heck out of here.
Yeah. Don't eat my food's food.
That's right. Don't eat my food's food. I'll take it personally. There we go.
Well, listen here. In 2 verses, if you need hey, what's your favorite verse, guy? Like what's your life verse? What's this? What's that? I'm like,
my life verse.
look no further. The first verse you get and they're right next to each other. So in just a couple verses, these are the 3. I'm going to memorize these. All right. Be fruitful and multiply. No problem.
Like that one.
I can support that.
Yeah.
And then go
That's
kill
a
and
good one.
eat. Everything's food for you. Get rid of the vegetables. What more do you need?
I mean, if that's
Multiply and kill. That's
and
it.
eat.
And then eat.
I mean, the only
That's
thing it
godly.
didn't say is drive a 3/4 ton diesel. But I think it.
But
meant
if it's
to.
in the pursuit of killing,
then you should do it.
then
It's
it's
there.
godly.
I don't drive a diesel, but
I
y'all
think-
both drive 3/4 ton diesels.
I think somewhere between verse 3 and verse 4 is a square body Chevy somewhere.
Oh yes,
I
yes.
found the vegetable verse, and this was our man Paul, who we probably, because of this alone, is the smartest man in the New Testament. He said in Romans 14:2, one person believes he may eat anything, while the weak person eats only vegetables.
Bam.
Sold.
Yep, I'm in.
Look, what more proof do you need that this is a man's faith? Be fruitful and multiply, kill things, eat.
Unless you want to be weak, eat the vegetables.
And exactly right.
Here's your broccoli.
You wuss.
That's right. That's right.
Well, if you look at verse 3 in the New King James, there's a cast off phrase, the last 5 words of verse 3
In Genesis 9?
in Genesis 9.
Yeah, we don't want more of that Levitical junk. That's for Old Testament and Christmas or something.
And people with higher IQs than me.
Yeah. I know that. Need to know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. We apologize.
Verse 3. Last 5 words. What did
Yeah,
it
the
say,
last-
Gary?
So he says, every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. and I've given you all things, even as the green herbs.
Mm. Yeah, mine says, and I have given you the green plants.
He gave them the plants. That was
give
original
you
Adam.
everything.
Right.
So as I gave you the green plants,
Originally
I now
in the
give
garden.
you everything that is alive and
Yes.
moving. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So before, and why did God change that with him? He's like, look, put you in the garden. You can eat the food. Don't eat the animals, whatever. But now, new covenant, all the food that you just kept in your boat, by the way, that give it time to go out and multiply and do its thing, then kill them and eat them, right?
Well, let's talk about that.
It's like the ultimate game of hide and seek, Josh.
Well, think about this.
They were here on the team at home base. You sent them out, counted to, I don't know how many seconds are in 30 years, and then went out and found them.
Well, think about it.
Killed them, eat them.
He cares for these animals for 370 days-ish. They get off the boat. Nova is clearly, I'm going to go ahead and take some scriptural liberty here and say that he was overwhelmed when his feet hit the jack mud.
Boot jack
or
mud.
whatever you called it.
What'd you call it? I don't know. Gary made something up that I'm not sure is real, but we call it boot jack mud.
Boot jack mud, whatever. He gets off the ground. He's so happy his sandals aren't getting stuck in the
it'll
mud.
jack up your boots.
I thought it would jack them from you.
That's what it does.
Okay.
It takes your boots. You lose. You better not. They better be tied.
Well, look, Noah didn't lose he didn't get his sandals jacked, but he was so excited. He does what? He worships the Lord. And you know what he does? He said, hey, where's that stinking dove I brought with me? This bird is probably like, I made it. I lived through the flood. I was one of the only doves. I'm out of here. Oh, wait, what's he doing now? Why is he building a fire? Boom.
Dead dove.
Dead dove.
Oh, that's what you were going to say?
Yeah. He gets sacrificed. What a horrible way to go. Like, I lived through all this. He's probably got some birdie PTSD from the flood, the rains, the boat, the elephant poop he was sitting next to for a year. And then he gets thrown on the altar and burn up.
That's what I tell my daughters. I'm going to turn them chickens into chicken nuggets.
You need to turn them into chicken sausage gumbo.
Well, speaking of, yeah.
What you got, Gary?
Yeah, here's a point that, think about this. Noah and his family were on the ark for a year or so.
Right.
And they cared for these animals. So I'm sure they did some dog training there.
They did.
So, you could say that these were, domesticated. These were pets to some degree. But then in verse 2,
oh, that's right. Yeah, good point.
God puts the fear of man in these animals. So now,
good point.
Now they've been on this ark. They've been pets. They've been cared for. Their hay's been changed out. All these things. And then now, when they come off the ark, instantly there's fear of man. And they scatter. So now, I'm sure Noah and his sons could call all of these animals by name, and they would come to him. And I'm sure they played fetch on the boat.
Oh, sure.
But now, the fear of man is in those things.
It's fear and the dread.
Yeah, and it's funny and it's interesting. Yeah, because before he was living in harmony and peace in the garden with all the animals. And the birds and the fish, no?
Interesting, yeah.
And so now, but then it's funny how these things kind of come to being, because not much later in Genesis 11, where this is in 9, so the animals are scattered in the same way languages spread, right? Mm-hmm. He confuses their languages and scatters them throughout the world, right? Throughout the new world or the world in general. Right. And so all these languages are now all over the place, just like all these animals, like he dreads and scatters. Never looked at it like that way before. Again, you can't play hide and seek if only half of them are seeking. You got to have somebody who wants to hide to play hide and seek. The ultimate hide and seek. I'm going to eat you.
Right.
You know?
The Hunger Games.
Yeah, the Hungry Games.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was see, everybody thinks everything is like, we made this up. What creative writing? No. Hunger Games, biblical.
Yep.
That's Genesis 9.
Well, that's
This was
interesting.
the world's first Hungry Games.
How about, is it made up? I think we've mentioned this, but am I wrong to say that most other cultures have a great flood story?
Oh yeah, we read that.
Isn't that interesting?
So, Gary, you ever did any deep diving on that? Because I looked this up when we started the Noah thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not most, Josh. It's all.
All okay. There we go. I thought
Every-
so. I didn't
every major culture. Yeah, every major culture around the globe has a flood story.
Isn't that interesting?
So interesting, which is going to lead me to the next thing I want to ask you. But yes, and most, if not all of them, have a single family that survives it.
Mm.
Yes. And I haven't polished myself up on this since we did this in early December, but they all have different, little small nuances about the family does and how they got there and how the flood started and all this other thing.
Yep.
But it's all like a biblical is the wrong term. It's all a flood that wipes out humanity with the
Right.
exception of a single family. In all these different cultures. And guess what? Here's the crazy thing. Every single one of them, they're all within 500 to 1,000 years of each other of when it actually happened. Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty incredible, actually.
Which actually brings me to the next question I want to get into
Well, go
Gary
ahead.
with. But yeah, look. So there was so many years since the creation, according to so this whole young Earth, old Earth, okay? There's two camps, Josh. And again, we're not here to define and be definitive in what to think, but we're here to just kind of talk about this. And here's something interesting. I heard recently, I want you fancy scholar people, like young Earth.
You're talking to two Louisiana boys. Go ahead.
One of them's not from Louisiana, he says. He's a plant.
Oh, look, he's 100% Cajun. I don't care what he says. If you ever ate his food, you know he's Cajun.
Very well. Well, then here's what I will know. I know whatever you're about to tell us will come with a good story. So even if you don't
Guaranteed.
know. Yeah. Young Earth, old Earth. What does that even mean?
Okay, let me try to take a stab at this. Young Earth is basically saying they're taking the account of years that are outlined in the Bible, and they're landing somewhere between 6 to 9 or 6 to 10,000 years. So that's the young Earth theory. The whole Earth and all of its inhabitants are somewhere between 6 and 9,000 years old.
That still seems old to me.
I mean, it's older than I am. I feel pretty old some days, but it's older than me. That's a young Earth creationist theory. Old Earth creationist theory would say billions of years potentially, but still a creator God that did it. Am I about getting that right, Gary? Is that about what you know, how you understand it?
I think you may be a little bit off on the years for an old Earth creationist.
That's close.
So the magnitude of billions of years would be an evolutionist. So I think it's 4.2 billion years is what they say the Earth is.
Okay.
So the old Earth creationists.
Hey, real quick,
Which,
Gary, for those guys who say it was 4.2 billion years old, it had to be started from something, did it not?
Yeah.
You can't have something from nothing.
You can't have something from nothing. And I wasn't the one that coined this phrase. I've heard this phrase, but when they refer to the Big Bang, it's so we would call that an uncaused first cause. So who caused the Big Bang?
That's
Right.
exactly what.
Because
Yeah, give me a break.
So I think the thing with the young Earth creationist and the old Earth creationist theories, they're both still falling in line with God, a creator God. It's just how long did the planet Earth exist? Is that right, Gary?
Yeah. There's some things about that about the creation story. There's some different beliefs about that. The strict creationist would say that the Earth is 6,000 years old. So they've matched up the genealogy from the Bible to times of secular times, and they've come up with that. That's how they got the 6,000 years. The old Earth creationists would say, a young Earth creationist would say the Earth cannot be older than 6,000 years or whatever number they pick. An old Earth creationist would say the Earth is at least 6,000 years.
Okay.
Where do you fall? You were about to say something about it's not 4.2 billion. You were about to follow it up with something.
Yeah, so I would say I'm an old Earth creationist. I started out. I've been in church pretty much all my life. I was actually born in church, not literally, but my family were Baptist all my life, and so I started out as a young Earth creationist or a strict creationist.
That just sounds like a
And,
written account creationism, right? Like the Earth, the
Well,
written account of Earth. Yeah.
that would be a literal literal interpretation of the scriptures. So those would be literalist. And so as Josh alluded to, I've been in the oil and gas industry for a while. I've been primarily drilling oil wells all over the world. I would say I've drilled probably 200 to 300 wells that are 4 to 5 miles deep into the crust of the earth. So when I started into this industry, there were things that I was seeing coming out of the ground that I could not reconcile with a young Earth creation account.
Okay.
And so that led me to thinking and reading the scriptures, and there's some things in the scriptures that I believe, my personal opinion, I could be wrong. I would love to be challenged on this. That lend to an older Earth creation account.
Like, what were some of those things coming out of the ground? You're like, this is something I got to ask some questions about.
Yeah, so there's some interesting things. So,
how big are these these holes you're drilling, anyways, diameter wise?
So I'm currently on a rig in West Kuwait, and the hole we're drilling now, it's the first hole we drill. It's not just a single hole that goes all the way down. We start with a large hole, and then we go smaller and smaller as we go down. So the current hole it's 36-inch diameter.
3 feet. Okay. Or is that a core, or is it just grind it up and spit it out?
Is grind it up and spit it out.
Okay.
So we'll go down to about 1,000 feet with this, and then we'll secure this part of the hole with some pipe, and then we'll go in and drill a smaller hole inside that deeper, and we'll do that 7 or 6 more times.
It's almost unfair, I think, and I don't know a ton about oil and gas, but I know more than probably the average guy. When you're talking about the production side of things, that Gary's in, where they're drilling for oil, there is so much unbelievable technology that's wrapped up in the words, I'm drilling an oil well. The amazing amount of technology that's involved in that. Do you know that there's more dual use technology, meaning meant for one industry, but it has a dual use purpose for the government, DOD? There's more dual use technology for the DOD, Department of Defense, Department of War, that comes out of oil and gas than any other industry in the world.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're the first at so many things. Underwater drone technology, underwater robot technology. It is wildly advanced technology.
Interesting.
Incredible. Anyway.
Yeah, what was coming out of them holes?
Yeah. So the dirt all the way down is not homogeneous. It's in layers or strata, and geologists have dated these into periods and so they know um, kind of where they are in the evolutionary time period, by what rock they're drilling or what piece of dirt they're drilling. Because when you look at these rocks under a microscope, there's actually small fossils inside these rocks.
Okay.
Now, we're talking a microscopic level, and you're pulling a rock out of the ground that's 6 miles deep.
That's interesting.
So in all of that, got me thinking about, how is this possible? How does that fit in with a young Earth creation account? And then there were some other things. So, like, for example, the Chinese language is they have a written history going back 5,000 years. So that timeline kind of pushed things, kind of skewed things to the left of the time. So after looking at the creation account, there's some things that we don't know from the creation account that the Bible does not say. And so a strict creationist would take all these things as happening right next to each other, like today and then tomorrow that happens. So, for example, we get the 24-hour time period from what?
Oh yeah, sun, moon, creation day number 3.
Yeah. So that's on day 3. So we know from that, or we can infer from that concept of 24 hours did not exist prior to the creation of the sun.
Yep.
So we don't know. We don't know if these days are literal days, and a young Earth creationist or a literalist would say yes, it's literally a 24-hour day. And my question would be, okay, well, how long was day 1? We didn't have a way to measure time.
I agree with that. Probably that's kind of where I fall.
So then, so there's that, and then one thing that, and I've spent quite a bit of time searching, is that there's no one knows or can even surmise how large the Garden of Eden was. Was it like, and we think of the garden as, our backyard gardens.
Okay.
Well, if it had its own ecosystems, it had a river running through it. So think of the scale of land of that it takes to have a river running through it. What kind of ecosystem has that? So we're talking possibly continent size, definitely region size. So we're talking thousands of square miles.
And it had 4 rivers, no?
Yeah, there was 4. So to hold one, we're talking, fairly large. We're talking thousands of square miles. All of us are hunters and outdoorsmen. So imagine this: God creates you. We don't know from the creation account how long Adam was on the earth by himself.
No,
because
doesn't say that.
It doesn't say that. It gives a description of how, in the order in which he did it, but it doesn't specify the details in between the descriptive accounts. So we don't know how long Adam was on the earth by himself before he realized and talked to God about, said, hey, all these other animals, they have a mate. How come I don't have one?
I can't.
So think about this. We're outdoorsmen. We're in thousands of square miles. We've never seen any of this stuff before. How long would it take us to explore this before we come up with the idea of, hey, I don't have anybody with me that's with me all day. I have God that's coming in the cool of the day, but I don't have anybody else with me. So how long would it take you to figure that out? Would it take you a day to figure that out? Now, we would. I mean, we're all married. You know, it's difficult. I work away from home, so it's difficult to be away from my family, from my wife and family for 30 days at a time. But Adam didn't know what a relationship with a woman was.
Right.
So he had no idea what that was.
Yeah, he didn't know to miss it.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
It's kind of like apple pie. Before
Right.
you have it, you don't know how much you like it. Once you have it, you're like, man, I need more apple pie in my life.
I was gonna say chicken wings.
Kind of like gumbo.
Like gumbo.
Yeah, man, wouldn't it be nice to have some gumbo?
If it
I
was
don't know
cold
what
out.
I'm missing.
You know, if it was cold out, you should have gumbo.
Weird. I feel like Maddie
it was
B.
cold.
What's that? What's that noise?
It's 32 degrees outside. It's pretty cold to me.
Yeah, I feel like a good friend of ours, and
It's
actually,
cold enough for gumbo now.
Hey, actually, here's a question for you, there,
yeah.
Gary. I have a question for you. We do got to wrap it up here. We're getting a little bit on the time wise, but here's a question for you while we're thinking about this. I have an update. What do you,
Okay.
Gary? If you were driving past Josh's house,
Yeah.
I mean, you consider
Okay.
him a friend, don't you?
Yeah.
If you were driving past his house, what would that, think like 100 yards prior to 100 yards past, like, what would that look like for you? You're in the car. What would that chain of events look like? If you were driving past his house?
You know, if I'm driving past his house, I've actually been there a time or two. So I'm imagining driving past his house. It's wooded. It's a very nice house. And then I hear chickens
Yep.
and animals.
Yep.
And I'm like stepping back into a farm.
Is there anything you
that's
would
right.
do, or you just kind of keep going?
He might not know where you're going with this.
I'm trying to. That's the point. I want him to just say it without being led in.
So I guess let me tee it up a little bit more then.
My terrible description.
Let's say you wake up one day and you want to run to a store or something. Think of my old place on Myrtle Street. Myrtle Place.
Okay.
You're driving from your house, and for some reason you're driving down Myrtle Place to go visit somebody, and you're passing my house.
A good friend.
I haven't talked to you in a day or two.
Yeah.
The question he's getting at that he's not saying is, are you stopping by unannounced? Are you calling saying, I'm going to come by? Are you throwing a Burger King Whopper Junior wrapper in the front yard? Are you honking?
Yeah. What's your behavior?
Or do you just drive
so-
on
Or you
by?
just drive by like a cold shoulder.
If I have time, if I know I have time, I'll call ahead and say, hey, I'm going to be in your area. I'll stop by and see you.
That's because
If
we're
I know
polite
I have
people.
time.
That's because we're polite people.
If I don't have time, I'm definitely going to slow down. I'm going to
Really?
honk the horn a few
Oh,
times.
really?
I might roll down the window and holler at him,
That's right.
and then
Interesting.
I'll move back on.
Is there any situation?
Just zooming by somebody's house, I mean, it would have to be an emergency, like, an emergency. I got to get to a toilet or somebody's dying. That's pretty much the only emergency that would
All right.
cause me to just drive by somebody's house without even honking the horn.
Yeah, I think the only thing you can
mean,
infer is like you drive past a bunch of other people's house that you just don't care about. You don't honk or slow down or anything like that, right?
Right. If you didn't know him, you just drive by.
If I don't know them,
Yeah.
I mean, a good friend of mine, I'm definitely honking the horn.
Weird. So I guess there's only really one natural logic next step. If a guy drives by your house, doesn't stop, doesn't slow down, doesn't, holler at you, doesn't honk,
I guess you know where you
you're
stand.
just irrelevant to them.
Well,
I mean, I would definitely reconsider my relationship with that person.
And then, so
And I
Go ahead.
would definitely give second thoughts of whether or not I'm gonna fix a gumbo for them or invite them over.
Oh,
to gumbo.
that's true. It might be that a good chicken and sausage gumbo with a really dark roux and some fresh potato salad as an olive branch might be in order.
Yeah, here's what happened, okay? All right, I'm going to tell you the rest of this story. This was 2 episodes ago, but you haven't heard it yet because it ain't been published. My good friend, listen, I would actually consider so Jesus had 3 close friends, right? Peter, James, and John.
Mm-hmm.
3 of the 12 and then the 70. I would say Josh isn't even in the 12. He's in the 3. He's a 3 a.m. friend. Same with Matty B. These guys, if I call them at 3 o'clock, they're answering. If they call me at 3 o'clock, I'm coming out to help bury the body. Okay. Look, the old boy here sitting across from me. I come to find out, and he accidentally revealed this. I don't think he did it intentionally.
I was going to say, I self-admitted.
Yeah, he self-admitted. Drove right past my house, and here's the thing. Like,
technically, that happened 2 times because it was on the way there and on the way out.
that's very, very Louisiana of you. Didn't beep 2 times.
Yeah, 2 times.
2 times.
He got to slow down because it's on a steep curve or sharp curve.
Yeah, he did.
Slowed down, just looked. You know what he said? Oh, so you have a lot of lights up. Noticed the house was there and nothing. Not a beep, not a stop in, not a phone call, nothing. Well, here's what happened. So, as men do, he compensated. So the next time, Josh,
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, he's on his way past the house.
It's about 6 o'clock.
Yep, go with Koji's, who they've met.
Yep.
He pulled in my driveway, and for 5 minutes straight, that's exactly right.
Just
Decided to
obnoxiously
disturb the peace, got us an HOA fine,
Don't
ruined
you know
our
I had the
relationship with
windows
the neighbors.
I had the windows down with the podcast intro music blaring and the horn just go. I thought for a second I might drain my battery with this horn. It was that obnoxious.
And Holly said, I'm gonna need to put some brakes on this relationship.
She's like, he's never going to speak to you again. I'm like, he's going to love every minute of this.
Yeah, it was great. And here's the funny thing. So my daughter, I was like, I never heard it. But my daughters, and I brought it up at breakfast or dinner with the girls, like with the family.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's what that was. I thought there was, an accident. Somebody was dying. I didn't know what was happening. Nope, just my friend Josh making up for lost time when he
Maybe
didn't
I
beep.
shouldn't have backed in.
How should I take this?
Maybe I should have pulled in, nose first, horn pointed at you.
That could have helped.
Maybe that was what was going on.
But said my neighbors are calling me, ringing off the hook. They haven't talked to me in years. Meanwhile, I've got some lunatic.
They're like,
you know.
there's some idiot out there playing
Yeah.
some music and honking his horn.
Jeez. Anyways, how should I take this, Gary? How do I need to respond to this?
Well, you definitely need a lot more than olive leaf.
The Dove's olive leaf.
Yeah, you definitely need an olive leaf.
So maybe it's
I think-
gumbo and boudin.
It's to me at the very minimum, you need at least a bay leaf that's in that gumbo.
Ah, there we go.
We did have some
At
good.
the-
What would
at
we
the
call that?
very least.
Okay. Yeah. Anyhow. All right. What else? What else do I need to take care of here, business wise?
I'll tell you.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, Gary.
gumbo, boudin. There's got to be some significant peace offerings here.
No.
The peace offering of the dove.
Now listen,
No,
if it's boudin, this is serious.
It's serious.
If we were down in Lafayette, that wouldn't be a big deal. Boudin is more precious than gold up here.
Oh, okay. All right. I ain't never had really in Virginia anything except what you've made in terms of Cajun food.
So far, all he's had is chicken and sausage jambalaya.
Well, you had one other thing. What'd you make?
Red beans and rice.
Yeah, and then what'd you make for the men's thing?
That was jambalaya.
Oh, more jambalaya.
That was
Well,
a
look,
massive loaded jambalaya.
all 3 of those events were significant markers in my culinary life. They were amazing.
So, Josh, he has to have an etouffee.
Yes.
King
Yeah.
cake. I've had king
And-
cake.
Did I bring you a cake?
No.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
so you've had king cake. Yeah, so you have to have etouffee. And I like my etouffee only one way.
On your plate?
Crawfish
With my
etouffee
belly.
on top
fried catfish.
a fried catfish on top of a bed of rice.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh, man. A big old
That's
bed of
all
white
it-
rice with a big fillet of fried catfish covered in crawfish etouffee. And you will be so angry at your mother
I have an idea.
after the
Oh,
first
my
bite
goodness.
for her not fixing that for you
Oh, my
sooner.
goodness. I have an idea, Maddie B. You ready for this?
Ooh,
We
that's
need to
good.
go on. All
That's
right,
good
Gary,
stuff,
you'll be
Gary.
part of this. We need to go on a field trip.
Let's go.
All right.
Go to Lafayette.
Yeah, we need to go down
We're taking the
to
podcast
Gary
on the
and
road.
Pastor Jeff's church.
Take it on the road.
And since they have a media room or a production room,
Yes.
we go
Yes.
down there as a
What?
field trip. We bring Gary. We get Gary on live. Pastor Jeff from Lafayette, South I-10.
Okay,
we
but-
have some delicious, I don't know, whatever Cajun food you want to make, and we record 3 or so episodes right there in February.
We'll have all the Cajun.
all the
all
Cajun
the
food.
Cajun.
But we got to correct you on one thing before you get there because they're going to make fun of you.
That's probably
Whenever
expected.
someone tells you a joke, you don't laugh. You laugh. It's Lafayette.
It's Lafayette,
not
not Lafayette.
Lafayette. You don't laugh. You
Noted,
laugh. You
noted.
laugh at a joke.
Lafayette.
And we live in Lafayette.
Okay. All right. What do you think about that?
I
Why don't
love
we,
the
why don't we do
idea.
that?
Why don't we do it?
Yeah, I like the idea.
Gary,
I
should
love
we?
the idea.
Should we?
Are you
Hang
there
on,
in February?
hang on. We can go worse, Gary. We can do this in February when you and I have the LAGCO event on the 12th. We can keep these boys down there till the 14th. And you know what that is, right?
Oh yeah, Roof Fest.
Roof Fest is the 12th, but do you know what the 14th is? I think it's the 14th. Roof Fest is on a Thursday, right?
That's the 12th.
The 12th is a Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What's the 17th, Gary?
Oh, let me look. Is it?
Yeah.
It? Can it be?
We could do the podcast live on the go.
Yes.
Fat Tuesday?
It's Mardi
Yes,
Gras.
we can. On Fat Tuesday.
Whoa.
Can we tentatively plan on this? I'm in. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Oh yeah.
Gary is in
Oh,
full
yeah.
support. And Gary, you're in town around
Look.
the 21st or 2nd of January. That puts you through the 20th of February.
Yeah, I'll be in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in town.
All right, boys.
Count it. Ding!
We're going to Mardi Gras.
Woo! I'm most excited about the food, okay?
That's all we're talking about. That's all the food's all.
Listen, I want to see the church. I want to see old Gary. I want to see Lafayette. We got to check out this bowl wrestling thing. But yeah, I'm in on this action. Oh, we got text.
So yeah, I mean, gator tours and all that. Yeah, all of that. Swamp tours.
All right. Well, we'll see about, yeah. I think it'll be great. All right. Hey, look, let's try it. Can we plan on that, Josh?
Absolutely.
Maybe we can continue this. All right. Well, where are we going to finish up tonight, Josh? We got other guests in the queue, other things, a couple episodes to do.
Well, I guess the big thing is
First of all, he joined us at 2 a.m., by the way.
yeah, it's 2 a.m. and or it was 2 a.m. It's now 3:30.
Jeez.
And this man's he's just about to start his day.
Golly.
And he hadn't even had a full night's sleep yet. So thank you for joining us, Gary. Last thing I wanted to say about Noah and this story is about the rainbow, which we've loosely covered, but this was the rainbow. We want to take it back. Well, it's not really ours. It is a covenant sign, but it's actually for God's remembrance, which is interesting. But that he would go ahead, chime in on that.
Yeah. So here's the thing about the rainbow. We know the enemy does everything he can to dilute and pollute what God has created.
Yes. That's right.
If you look at the color arrangement on a natural rainbow, and then you look at the color arrangement on that rainbow,
Yeah.
we're not taking that rainbow back.
No,
because
they can keep that
rainbow
fake
has
one.
been- Yeah, because it's not even a natural rainbow. They get things out of order
Oh, you're telling me.
physically,
That's ironic.
and now they're getting things out of order spiritually.
Ooh.
Nailed it.
Hashtag nailed it.
Man, that's great. That's great. I think that's a great place to finish this up. That's awesome. Gary, man, thanks for being up early in the morning with us. And I certainly hope we do this again. Have you on once we upgrade our computer systems here. We're going to get a little more power on the computer side. We'll level up from phone call to video with you, and we'd love to have you back on. But we might just have you in February, or you can have us in February down remote, mobile.
Yeah. I mean, what's better than video, man? Live and in person.
I don't know why we wouldn't. Yeah,
I love it.
I think it's a great idea. Well, look, brother, I hope you get a little bit of rest before your day kicks off, and I'll hit you up tomorrow. We'll catch up on some other things. Thanks again, man, for sharing this time with us. We enjoyed having you on.
Same question.
Thanks for having me, guys. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, can't wait to do it again.
Same question we end with. Give all the fellas a chance. You got anything for the team that's listening? Words of advice on what we talked about tonight, other things you've listed all. Man, I feel bad for this guy. 49 episodes of the 50. What do you got for the fellas listening? Anything?
Yeah, guys, just as the show's motto, I mean, to stand firm in the faith. I mean, there's going to be some things that's happening. Look at Noah. Look at our example tonight that we looked at. Life is it's going to knock you down. You got to stand firm. You got to keep fighting. And just know this, that everybody you meet, they're going through something as bad, if not worse, than what you're going through.
That's so right.
So throw a little kindness, throw some Jesus love on them, and make a disciple.
There you go.
I love it, man. That's well said. I wish he was here. Come and bring him on all the time with us. He's just number four to join us every week. All right, Mr. G. We will see you soon, I think, my good friend. Be safe out there. Safe travels back here at the end of the month. Man, we're grateful for having you on. If you ever need anything, you know how to get a hold of Josh. I think you all talk frequently anyways, man. We love you. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for going out there and working hard for us, representing. Just keep firm in the faith, my good friend. And with that, remember this. Men of the world follow trends, Josh, but men of the faith, like our good friend Gary here, follow truth.
Make your choice.